It's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Steam Prison, and we are going to finish Yune's endings today. We only have 2 to go through, so this could be a very freaking short part. Depending on how much I ramble. But we'll do all the other we'll do the endings, whatever, it might be short, and I mean, that's it. We'll look through and we pull up a screenshot. We don't have anything else to look through. Nothing. So we'll look at the couple of other. I kind of skipped through. I was like, don't look at that one. Don't look at that one. We'll spend a few more minutes looking at those. The 2 other CGs that we should have gotten that you shouldn't have seen when we did the good ending. But anyway, so right now we've loaded back where we ended the last part. We chose the stay with him until he dies. Now we're going to end the relationship and do that ending. So yes, and now's my only chance. It was my last chance to walk away, to turn back. If I stay with him any longer, I won't be able to leave. I didn't want to leave, but I had to. Saint Yune was our priest, the most loved citizen. I didn't want to throw all those people into despair just for myself. And besides, I wanted Saint Yune to live. There was only one thing I could do. I'm sorry, Saint Yune. The next morning, I brought him his breakfast as usual. And only his breakfast. I had finished mine in the mess hall. I had to say goodbye. I didn't want to make it harder than it already was by eating breakfast with him. It might be a little late for that already. He's given me so many good memories. In the greater context of my life, my time with him had been short. Nevertheless, it was a time vividly present in my memory. I was happy with all I had done. Sometimes it wasn't easy, but that's all right now. I steeled myself and cleared my mind. Good morning. I've brought your food. Thank you. Oh, where's yours? I ate already. Aw, we said we'd eat together. I apologized and laid out his food. I can't believe you broke our promise. Is something wrong? There is. Let's hear it. I wondered whether he was simply curious or whether he had seen through me already. I couldn't tell when I looked into his clear eyes. I would have to tell him sooner or later anyway. I calmed myself down as best I could and said what I'd prepared. Saint Yune, I have a request. All right. I'd like you to let me out of the relationship I promised you. Hold on. What are you talking about? Don't you like me? Have your affections faded to nothing? No, that's not it. I don't know what love is like, but I do think I like you and could love you. And because of that, I don't want you to die. If your feelings for me will kill you, then I want this to stop. I'll leave. Please stop this. Please live. No way. Saint Yune, I don't want that. I've never been in love before. They despised me, called me an abomination, said I was creepy. They kept their distance, knowing that touching me was dangerous. And that hasn't changed since I became the priest of this country. What everyone thought was creepy, they now call a miracle, but they're still not looking at me as a human being. I want to remember that I used to be able to feel like a human, to know for sure that I am human. You were the one who taught me that I am. So why? Why are you trying to leave me? Are you going to disappear as well? Saint Yune! Don't touch me! You'll get hurt. I wrapped my arms around his back instead of saying anything. I don't want to see you suffer. You once said that you like my smile. I like your smile. I want you to keep smiling. Yune Sakie, saint of this country. I, Spacey Testella, leave your employ. I see. You're so stubborn. Fine. I will let you go. You're free. What are you going to do now? I can have the temple see to your welfare if you want. No, that won't be necessary. I don't know what I'll do, but I want to find my path alone. I see. Alone. I'll have to get by alone as well. Well, goodbye. Oh man, why am I able to cry now of all times? I haven't cried since I became the priest. Okay, so like we saw this one, I didn't know this one was so because it looked happier, and then I was like, he's kind of crying, but okay. I thought I wasn't able to cry anymore. St. Yune, I was a mess when I left Arson Clan behind. Sad, confused, upset, everything. And this time I want to see you off with a smile. And the same one I gave you when I said I loved you. Am I smiling right now? Yes, it's a beautiful smile. Good. It's so hard. But I'll make it. I made it so far after all. At least from now on I'll have the memories of my time with you. Goodbye, my Spacey. I pray that your future will be forever happy and bright. I remember this ending. I was like, I don't remember this ending. I do now. My family's rank was reinstated after I left St. Yune's side. I decided to relinquish my titles. I was never comfortable with my aristocratic role. Wow. I decided to live as an ordinary citizen in the city I was born in. I opened a fencing school. That was the only thing I could truly say I was good at. 4 times a week, I trained children in a public building in the city. I wasn't able to live a luxurious life, but it was enough for one person. For me, an exception was made. I'd be allowed to remain alone. Bye, Teach! Goodbye. Don't forget to come tomorrow. The children left, yelling their goodbyes in my direction. I waved at them. Someone put his hand on my shoulder. Oh. I turned around and saw a very tall man carrying a brown paper bag. Finn, what is that? Or what is it? Oh, I'm sorry. It's nothing. I felt like doing that when I saw you. Finn is like, I wish you'd let me marry you, and now I'm going to marry someone else. And he's still pining away. I mean, he's still like fucking, but he's here and he gets to stare at us and he's fucking creepy. With my innocence proven, Finn had been permitted back into the Heights. He had been reinstated in the police and did administrative work for Sir Cordoa, or so I heard. How's work, Finn? Everything going well? Let me see. Having to go drinking with them every day is rough. Finn somehow seemed harder and stronger since his return from the depths. But even though he can't be with us, he can stare at us longingly, and that's all he ever wanted. It's still fucking creepy. I'm glad you're still well. Damn right. How about sparring a little, Finn? If you lose, you're paying for dinner. That sounds nice, but we have to do it another day. I need to return to the temple. I see. It's too bad. Come here when you have a day off, then. You're always welcome. Thank you very much. Excuse me now. There he goes. I should go home, too. The sky was clear and blue. I looked after Finn, walking towards the large white temple building. Is St. Yune looking at the sky right now as well? I walked home, remembering the time I had belonged to decide. It's open. Come in. Excuse me, Your Holiness. I've brought what you ordered. It took you a little while. Did you make a detour? I talked to someone on the way. Am I too late? No, not really. I was too absorbed in my work to notice. Finn walked up to my desk and set down the bag. I almost slipped into my voice. Very nice. This is all candy I love. Thanks, Finn. You're welcome. But why did you ask me to do this? You should have plenty of subordinates. I do, but they aren't able to improvise. I'd have to tell them exactly what I want, down to every piece of candy. Just telling them I want candy wouldn't work. You, on the other hand, can follow verbal orders. I see. You seemed weakened when I was called back from the depths, but your condition has improved. It has. Doling out punishment may have done it. After the discovery of Warner's plot to have the Distellas murdered, I changed my position towards the Assembly and the nobles. And once I started investigating, one by one their crimes were discovered. In the end, I'd had to replace more than half the Assembly. I feel like that was probably in one of the other scenes that maybe had gotten skipped through. That we found out. Because, like, we knew in the good ending that it was them, but we ended up in the depths. I feel like in one of the other bad endings we might have... Like, I can't remember. Like, I know in one of the other routes, there was, like, an ending where we confronted them and everything like that. And I feel like that might have also sort of happened, but differently in this one. But I can't remember, and it probably was a scene that should have stopped and that we should have read through, but I don't know where it is, what ending, and anything like that. And unfortunately, because I've already played this, it skipped through, But it's okay. It's not like we're like, what? They were guilty? We knew they were guilty. I just don't recall if in Yune's route there was a scene where we confronted them, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, anyway. Maybe there wasn't. I don't know. Finn's father was one of the new delegates. Obviously, he was still thoroughly inexperienced as a politician, but his experience as a merchant was valuable for economic and monetary matters. I had high hopes for him. And with the amount of work I have, there's not much time to think about her. When I remembered her, my chest still hurt, but it was an insignificant pain. I had sworn that I would survive and be positive about the future, and I'm convinced that the harder I work here, the easier you'll have it too. Finn, sit down over there. Eat with me. The chocolate? I'm dieting. What? Are you a girl? You're plenty slim already. Yes, but Sir Cordoa and the other commanders drag me along to drink with them every night. Sounds fun. It can be, but not every night. Look at Sir Cordoa's belly. And most of the administrative staff are overweight. I'm worried the same will happen to me. Fine. Sit down and eat with me and I'll listen to your complaints. Finn thanked me and sat down. This one is easily deceived, huh? I offered chocolate to him and began some small talk. A gentle breeze blew in through the window. Outside, the blue sky stretched toward the horizon. I wish happiness to all the people seeing the sky. For all of them, I decided I was going to work. That was my way of showing my love for Spacey. It's not over yet. Don't get excited. Some decades later. Come in. Oh, at long last. The day has come now, huh? After I read the notice, I canceled all my appointments and left the temple. I ignored the onlookers and walked to my destination. Eventually, I reached the house. I wanted to come earlier, but I never managed to do it. I'd always known the place. Its location was etched into my memory even though I'd never gone. It was the house of Spacey Testella. Giant lovely portrait of you on the wall, looking like the Mad Hatter. Oh, welcome, Saint Yune. A young woman welcomed me inside. Her clothes showed to be Spacey's attendant. She bowed and gestured for me to follow her. Of course, her house was small compared to the temple. Still, I could feel her mark on it, the person she had been. This way, please. The attendant had led me to a woman deep inside the building. I thanked her and she left. Slowly, her footsteps faded. I looked around once, only silence remained. Wow. They say that a room reflects their inhabitant, and this is no exception. The room was clean and simple, devoid of extensive decorations, just like the Spacey Testella I had known. Absolutely not me. Every room in my house is crammed with stuff. I walked up to the bed. It's going to be a pain in the ass for somebody when I'm dead, I'm just saying. There were so many things I wanted to say now, but once I was there, standing in front of the bed, I couldn't remember any of it. A long time no see. How are you doing? I'm doing well. I'm doing well, as always, really. I completely recovered, just like you thought I would. I'm back to my old self, as resilient as ever. To be honest, there were a lot of times where I wanted to see you, but I never did. Every time I was leading a procession through the town, I thought I'd see you in the crowds. I never did, but I wonder if you were looking at me anyway. I hope you were watching over what I was doing. I looked at the country and reformed the government to make it work better for the people. I even started working on bills myself. Did it help you, what I was doing? Did this country make you happy? I'd like to know, but you're gone now. Spacey was lying on the bed, looking almost as though she was sleeping. I took her hand. She was still warm, but she wasn't breathing. The servant had told me outside her room that she had passed away just before my visit. I thought I could talk to you a little at the end, but it seems you'll resist me until the very end. A tear began to roll down my cheek and fell on her hand. Her hand, after all those years, was wrinkled. Hey, Spacey, are you going to wake up? Her eyes remained closed. Could you say my name? Her mouth remained closed. Could you smile for me? Her face. You're smiling, aren't you? She was smiling faintly in eternal sleep. Thank you. I always loved your smile. I wish I could have seen more of it. I could no longer stop the tears. They welled up in great amounts. And this is pathetic. I wish I could have looked more dashing now. I rubbed the tears away. You'll be gone from now on, but I'll keep working hard. You walked away from me to save my life. As long as I live, we have a connection, I think. So, it's going to be a while before I can follow you. It might never happen. I hope you can find it in you to wait for me and watch over me from the sky above. Goodbye, Spacey. I hope we'll see each other again. Like, that ending makes me feel more, even doing it a second time, than the good ending. Like, oh, it's so happy. No, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, it's a good ending. This is like, it's so bittersweet. The bad endings make you feel the love more. You know what I mean? Than the good ending does. And it's weird. I mean, that makes the bad endings good. Like, oh, they're so well that you're like, oh, they hurt me. Or like, I mean, I guess that's the good thing about Finn. He makes me hate him so much. You know, I'm supposed to like him, but I don't. But, you know, but that, like those last two, so the stay with him until he dies, where he dies and then she goes on with her life and then she sees his ghost, or like this one where she grows old and dies and he's just like, oh, those are so, they're both so heartbreaking. And they're supposed to be bad endings, but I actually enjoy both of those endings and I feel more about them. Like, oh, it's so heartbreaking and sad, but beautiful at the same time. I feel more about those than I did about the happy romantic we get to be with him, because I didn't believe the romance in that. But I believe it in this, you know? Like, our part in this last one, you know, it's more like I need to leave because I don't want you to die because I care about you. So she stays away from him and then, but he's like, kind of, his love was real and he keeps loving her, you know? And he goes like, she's dying, she's on her deathbed, and he goes to see her, but she's already dead. Oh, like, it's so sad. You know, you're like, oh, you should have just been able to say goodbye. But she was like, wait, he's on his way. She hears the knock at the door. Dead. Like, you bitter old hag, you know? But, or like the one where she stayed with him until he died, I believe that, like, it could have been years later. It could have been, you know, but it just seems like that's almost more believable. Like, okay, we stayed with him to be in love with him, but like maybe we actually fell in love with him as time progressed. You know? I don't know. Like, those feel more believable to me with, like, kind of a romance sort of there than the happy ending does. I don't know. But anyway, so we have one last one to do, and that's save 5. So pick all the negative options. So there's no other way. We've already done this. I'm worried. Right, so that's him talking to the stone. I don't quite know. I think when we get to the last choice, that's where we'll kind of skip through, because we got to do... Okay, because that's our touching, beautiful moment. This isn't like you. Whoa, click. Okay, hold on. So... Okay, so this is... Okay, we get stabbed. Smiling whispering to kill your parents. Ah, pawns. Alright. Bye, Spacey. So... That's sort of the same. This, I'm just going to click through fast instead of skipping because I'm not, you know, just in case. So, okay, we know what this is. This is like, you betrayed us. You fell in love with a woman. And he's like, it's kind of bullshit that we actually did this because it was kind of stupid if you think about it now. Not trusting people to, like, have sex and, like, people are whores and we're all gonna have sex with each other. Like, okay, people aren't all whores, but you know what I mean? Like, you can't stop sex from happening. If you were like, no, guys, don't stick it in each other. Oh, okay, that'd be hard. But, like, you had to force people to do it? I mean, anyway. So he's going down in the lift, which is what we expected. All right. I'm not sure where it deviates, but... Okay, so he's talking to the rock. My strength weakens, I will disappear, and I can finally doesn't make you happy. Okay, no, so this is all the same. The rock's like, go fuck yourself. Sashin's here. Journey was long. Okay, so this is all the same. Treat me like everybody else. Then we're gonna get stoned. We're like, no, don't do it. And then it's like, oh, he's gonna get pounded in the head. Okay. The stone struck me. Pain. Okay. Monster! Everyone's beating me. It's my punishment. Give me peace, make it stop. Okay, oh no, this is the same. Sashin just laughing at us. Smiling happily because he's a goddamn fucking dick. Glissade, research tool. He's like, God, you should have told me not to hurt him. God. I think it's actually funny that, though, can we just back up for a second? Like, Glissade being like, I wanted you uninjured. And Sashin, who's like fucking in charge of everything, like, you didn't say that! Like, Glissade, like, Sashin is answering to Glissade. It's kind of fucking funny. That little twist. You know? Because, like, can you imagine, just imagine the scenario, like, Glissade being like, ooh, bring him to me. And Sashin's like, alright, fine, whatever, I don't give a shit. And then brings him, and then Glissade's like, he's injured. Why is he injured? And Sashin, who's in control of fucking everyone and everything, and can't handle that a woman sassed him and hates us forever because of it, okay? Alright? Needs to be in control of everyone and everything, is like, you didn't fucking tell me not to let people beat him. You're like letting Glissade tell you what to do. It's fucking funny. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's just funny. Anyway. You're the subject. Yeah. Okay. Thick needle. 1, 2, 3 needles. Sasha to call me a toy. Drawn by blood, I can't die. Okay. Whatever. I give up. Do whatever you want. I wasn't gonna die anyway, I figured. An abomination can only ever be just that. Desiring to be human was futile. Tired of holding out hope. I think this is slightly different. I don't know if you quite said that. Arsenal, I'm sorry. I can't go on. I was gonna be like, that's kind of the shortest. All of that happened except for, you know what I mean? Like, righto. I heard it was this room. Can't see him. Was that horse shit what he told me? I had to search for so long. Damn it. What's under this blanket? Whoa, holy hell. It's you, Sakie. You're hooked up to tons of weird tubes. You look more like a machine. Hey, you alive? Dead? I need you to be alive. I have questions I came here for, okay? Security's pretty tight in this building. Took all I had just to get in. You need to give me something now. You're not really alive, huh? Just being kept alive. Man. You betrayed the fairies, rode the gravy train for ages, and now you can't even listen to me? You're not giving me much to work with here. Look, I'm gonna cut all these tubes. You're not getting an easy life on my watch. People like you should just die already. He's trying, Ulrich. He's trying. See? Cut them all. Now you'll die, right? Thank you, Arsenclimb. I'm not Arsenclimb. I'm Ulrich. How are you managing to even get our names wrong, dumbass? Whatever. We don't need someone as useless as you. So we're gonna settle this ourselves. So, rest in peace, Sakie. The end. So yeah, this is a short part, which is kind of new. But anyway. Extras, gallery. So we've already seen all of his CGs, but like, this was one that was supposed to be in an ending. Oh, look, weird. And I was like, don't look at it, but we saw it already, but we'll kind of like stare a little bit longer at it. But, yeah. So, I don't really have anything else to say about his route, because I kind of said everything I kind of, like, meant to say. You know what I mean? And then there's this one. This one's so beautiful. Like, it hurts you just looking at the CG. Like, it's pretty. It's so well done, and the light coming through, and he's like a ghost, but you're like, oh, it kind of stings a little. Like, it gets you in the feels. Those two endings, the Lingering Scent ending and the Let's Meet Again, that kind of came off that Save 4, are, I think, the best. I like both of those endings, even though they're kind of painful, but that's the thing, they're painful. You're like, oh, ouch, they sting a little, you know? They give you feels where I didn't get feels in the romance in the main route. So, you know. And then there's this one, where he looks happy, but he's like, ha, I'm waving goodbye to you. Doing good, right? Like, poor thing. And I do feel for his story. Like, his story is great, and like, all he wants to do is die, and it's like, and so yes, in the happy ending, it's like, okay, now you can live happily. I just don't buy the romance. Everything else about it's good. You know, I just don't buy the romance until it's like maybe some of those bad endings where you could be like, okay, it's longer. And I know it's probably just me. Like, if you take it as, okay, maybe it was months that they were together and she was pretending to be in love with him and all that, then yes. You know, then yeah, it's understandable, like whatever. But it doesn't feel that way to me when I read it. I feel like it kind of happens so fast and it's like, you know, it's over like a month, maybe two, but it's at the end of the route where it's like, let's pretend we're in love. And then I'm supposed to believe it's like months later, where they don't give you any sense of time passing. It's not like a few days later where you're like, okay, now it's probably been a couple weeks, you know? Like, only in the scene where he stabs you, he's like, I gave you a month and it's been over that. Oh, okay. But you don't tell us that before, where it's been more than a month and I haven't killed him and he hasn't said anything. Where it's only in that route. So, like, you don't know that through the whole good ending that it's technically been more than a month. All you know is he gave us a month, we didn't kill him, so maybe it's been a little bit longer, but you're not thinking, well, it's probably been like 6 months or something. You don't know. And without having that sense of time, it just feels forced, rushed, and fake, and I don't believe it. Plus, even in the end, he's like, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, awkward. There's no real kiss. He's like kind of leaning over like he's going to kiss her on the cheek. There's no real kiss happening. So like, it's not even like that. Like, you don't even get the, oh, they kissed and okay, she's actually in love with him. I still don't buy the romance, but I buy it even less. You know? I don't know. I do like his story. Like his background and all the pain and angst he went through. I feel for him and all that, but as a love interest, like, don't buy it. And it's not just because he's a lolly boy and I normally I'd be like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not into it. Not my route, but okay, fine. But then again, at the same time, I'm going to feel the same way about Finn. Definitely don't, no, fuck him. But hopefully you can go through the route and go, okay, well, it has moments and it's really cute. And I feel like, yeah, not my route and fuck Finn, but I buy the romance. I don't know. So I'm kind of like, and I think it's weirder doing it a second time, because I do it a second time and I'm like, I think I feel more detached from it the second time around. Because I don't feel like when I did it the first time, I was like, yeah, what the fuck is this? I feel like doing it a second time has made it a little clearer, like, yeah, whoa, what is this? You know? It's weird. It's weird. I definitely, again, I don't remember, because it's been like a month like, since I finished it. But originally. But I definitely feel like the first time maybe it was like, okay, yeah, no, it was good. It's not my favorite route, but it's not bad. But I don't think I felt such a disconnect with it. Like, it feels so fake and bullshit. Like, I don't know. Like, okay, so that's the negative of playing games multiple times. Because, like, you play through it the first time and, like, oh, it's fun and this is this. So, like, I wonder if I played, like, Elk Creed's route again, would I still be like, I love him? Or would I be like, you know what? Now that I'm playing it separate, I still think I'd love him because even now, a month later, coming back, every time I see him, I'm like, oh, I love you so much. I don't think it's going to change. Look, I'm just a whore for the whore, okay? Normally, I'm not. I don't like the whore characters, usually. There's some exceptions. There's more exceptions than there should be. Okay, so it's like a 50-50. It's like, sometimes I like him, sometimes I don't. I always love the glasses character. It's really rare if you give me a glasses character that I'm like, wow, I really don't like you. That's kind of fucking weird. So, I mean, he had an edge up, I'm just saying. If he didn't have the glasses, would I have loved him as much? Who knows? I like the weirdos, and he's a weirdo. And I like the glasses character, and he's the glasses character. He just happened to be the glasses weirdo slut, and it worked for me this time. I don't know. Anyway. So that's Yune's route. That's everything. We will come back and we will start the grand ending in the next part. So that last time took about 3 parts. So we'll see. Probably about the same since Yune's route took about 5 plus these 2, 7. Yeah. It took about 5 parts and then the 2 endings, which is what it was. So we're about at the same amount. It's not like I'm saving myself any time or anything like that. Yeah, I think like this part might have been a little bit longer, like things might have, you know, been slightly different, but it was still the same number of parts. That's all that matters to you. So we have about 3 parts left of this game, and I feel very proud of myself for being industrious and like cramming in recording as many of these as possible so we can get them up in August, just back to back, like throw them all up, get them out there for you as soon as possible, and then start fresh over in September. I'm also trying to do this as much as possible so that I don't impede myself recording the new games that we were going to be coming with in September. Because again, I wasn't really planning. I was like, this got lost. Well, fuck. Well, first of all, I wasn't planning for that to happen. I mean, who plans for that shit to happen? And then it happened, and I was like, well, now we lost this. Okay, and I wasn't planning to even redo it because I didn't think my games were saved, and then occurred to me to check, and here we are. So I wasn't expecting to really have to redo these 10 parts any way you look at it. So, you know, I'm trying the best I can to get them done and up and ready so that it doesn't impede my plan of starting September with, okay, we're going to start with new games and we're just going to scrap our original plan for the end of August into September is just like fucked and like we're postponing things. So, yeah. So anyway, but that's that. So, yeah. I'll see you guys next time and we'll start the grand ending route. So yeah, remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.